So I bought this Arcade1up Star Wars a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, and I meant to make a video, and I think I did, then I accidentally deleted it, and I've been busy and I never got around to it. I wanted to go ahead and make a video of this, even though it's probably way too late, and I'm sure a billion other people made videos. But specifically, I want to compare and contrast between the Atari Star Wars and the Mortal Kombat Arcade1up cabinets. If you saw some of my other reviews, I was both kind and harsh to the Arcade1up original Mortal Kombat II, because it had a lot of issues. It's beautiful, but one of my issues is it doesn't come with a riser. You have to buy that, and the riser's kind of ugly by itself. This artwork here is not stock artwork. I had to put that on. The controls were weak. The monitor is horrible. There was only like 2 volumes controls, off, light, and loud. And it didn't have a light-up marquee, but I loved the artwork. I thought the emulation worked fine, and I love the artwork. That's one of the things I can say about Arcade1up. At least most of their games, I think they do a good job. I also had a problem with quality control. I don't know if you can still see this, but I got like lines on my in the plexiglass, and I've heard other people have it. And my buttons were different. You know, they had different, you know, springiness. So in my video, people are like, "Why are you harassing it?" And you know, what do you expect for, you know, $200 or $300? Actually, I do expect a lot, because you can get a lot for $300. You know, you can get like a PlayStation and a Nintendo Switch. But I do like what they're doing with arcade games, and I'm very happy to say that in the Star Wars, they hit on basically, I think, all the complaints I had, and fixed them. So I'm glad I made that video, and not just me. I'm sure they didn't look at my video, because I think only a few thousand people have seen it. So, but I'm sure others have complained and made videos, and I know, you know, a lot of people complain about the monitors, and they in their next versions, which they made it, you know, a year or two later, the Star Wars, they did things very, very. They took those into consideration. First thing is, you got the light-up marquee. That is key. That's part of the whole arcade experience. You got to have that light-up marquee. All the arcade games have light-up marquees. It makes a huge difference. Okay. Monitor, significantly better. I actually, significantly is an understatement compared to the Mortal Kombat monitor. And I do believe, and I know, well, not do believe, I know they had like a special edition you get at Costco that have way better monitor. Because the Mortal Kombat original monitor sucked. It was washed out. It was horrible. The Arcade1up. But this, much better, much deeper colors, much clearer. One of the things that they have is the ability to turn on scan lines, which is something I mentioned in the original video about the Mortal Kombat that I made, to give a feel that you're actually looking at a CRT monitor. That's a really nice feature to add. Okay, some other things they did better. Volume. It's no longer just, you know, off, low volume, or way too loud. You get a range of 15 volumes. That is important, and that's a really good move on their part. You know what? I think the actual screen is actually bigger too. Let's look. You got 17 and. Yeah, about the same. That one just pops. I don't know why. So they got that. They fixed that. That is key, because at least on this one, it was either you couldn't hear it all or it was way too loud. So that's nice that they fixed that. That was a cheap fix, and that was well worth their time in taking it into adding like a potentiometer, basically. Other thing, the riser. This time it came with the riser. Oh no. Peeling off the sides. Oh, my artwork. Came with the riser, and the riser had pretty artwork. It wasn't just a blank black Arcade1up riser. So that's nice. I still wish they would make these things all one piece. A couple people pointed out why they think they don't, which ends up being like basically shipping. I guess they get it under a certain size with having it as 2 pieces. And so whatever. But thank you for including the riser. I think they did that in all the games now. I don't think I've seen them sell a game without a riser. although I haven't been paying too much attention. Controls are extremely nice. I can't compare to the real Star Wars controls because it has been 30 years, 40 years, I think, since I played a real. No, I played a real one in 2012. So that was almost 10 years ago. But it's been so long, and that one was actually pretty beat up, so I couldn't even tell how original, you know, what the controls really felt like. But as far as I'm concerned, these controls feel fine. I've heard people do reviews on the controls, and you know, but they look good. They and for me, they work fine. I do know that you can get the a reproduction, more original controller that's supposed to be, but it's like $400. I think it's called the Allen 1 yoke. But anyway, and the artwork. They actually, I think it seemed to me that the artwork seemed a little bit higher quality. Besides the fact that it does have the actual miniaturized cabinet profile. I mean, this is actually what the Star Wars cabinet looked like, but miniature, as far as geometry. The Mortal Kombat was not. It was just a generic cabinet, but they still did a good, you know, pretty good job on the artwork. But this is actually looks like a miniaturized Star Wars cabinet, which is beautiful. And this artwork seemed to me to be better. The Mortal Kombat seemed like a sticker. This seemed like a more like almost like a thin layer of plastic. Like it seemed rigider and thicker. It is peeling off here, so no, it is a sticker. Look at that. But it for some reason the quality just seemed. It struck me as better than the Mortal Kombat, so I could just be dreaming. Anyway, so it also has 3 games in it. What don't I like about this? The actual game. I hate to admit it, but this is a horrible game. Star Wars is a horrible game. It's catchy and it's like just so amazing. I remember playing as a kid. It just looks so cool, but it gets boring really fast. But that's not a and maybe I need to put it on super hard level and play it. That's not a complaint of Arcade1up. That's the way the game was. But it is a beautiful game, beautiful cabinet. It takes me back to, you know, 1981, I think, or 80. I don't even remember when this was made. It was, I want to say 81, but I could be wrong. I do remember playing this in the arcade as a kid, and you ran to this game. You know, you wanted to play this game, and it really does do a good, I think, a good job. The original Star Wars is called a vector monitor. And people who collect arcade games are extremely passionate about, you know, vector monitors, and they haven't been made forever. But you know, everyone swears up and down that vector monitors are so much better, but I really think they do a really. I mean, it looks, it looks to me basically the same. You know, so if you are a Star Wars fan and are an arcade fan, this is, I have to give this a, you know, besides the fact that the game play is kind of boring, I do have to give this a thumbs up because I think they did a really good job on this. So there you go. After 2 years, you finally made that video.